What's up, guys? So we're doing the latest chapter of Bleach that was released today, chapter 585 review slash discussion. And this chapter was a pretty good chapter. I want to say it's like, if if 10 out of 10 were the best chapters in Bleach, I wouldn't put this at 10 out of 10. I'd put it at 8 out of 10, with 5 out of 10 being the average chapter of Bleach, and 3 out of 10 being below average. I would put this at a solid 8 out of 10. This is a solid chapter. It had me interested throughout from the start to the finish. It was a great chapter in my opinion. It had me interested, and you guys know how much of a critic I am, and I'm not afraid to say that chapters of Bleach were crap or below average or just terrible. This chapter was solid. It had me entertained from beginning to end. There's relevant information. The pace of the story was moving forward. It wasn't in a stagnant area where it was literally just they're just putting in more fights, almost like a filler to just keep you entertained or settle the masses for whatever reason. This chapter was legitimate stuff going on that would progress the plot line. And so I'm assuming you guys have all read this chapter by now. So I'm going to proceed with the spoilers. First off, I just thought, the start was amazing. How it's drawn, I feel like it's quite well. Obviously, though, some of it was sloppy. I have to be honest. Some of it was definitely drawn, and I'm referring to all those moments and panels where Ichigo is literally drawn in this the typical simplistic anime style. I thought that was a little sloppy and lazy. But first page, just the first page in itself, I feel like it was well drawn. Ichigo has his new outfit. I very much like his new outfit, his new style. Everyone hypes up Ichigo because he's the main character. And for me personally, I feel like it's good and stuff. I like Ichigo as a character, but like certain characters like Kenpachi and other supporting characters have sort of fallen behind. Chad, for example, I always liked him, and he fell behind after the first arc, which was hundreds of chapters ago. But here's where I very much love this chapter. I very much like this whole plot twist because I wasn't expecting this coming. So props to Tide Kubo for thinking this up. Obviously, as a manga author, you can literally think up anything. The sky's the limit. Your imagination is the limit. And so, it is kind of like, it's not that big a deal that he thought this up. But personally, I thought it was quite a big deal. I literally thought from last chapter's cliff ending or cliffhanger that it would literally be something simple, like the boss of the Quincy decided to just advance, or maybe he decided to start some sort of operation or scheme where he was powering up, or he had decided to infiltrate the squadron, or start fighting with people, or get himself into a fight or something or other. I wasn't expecting what he had done, which I thought was genius. And I really would like this because I think this would be better. Because what are the options? There's the option of literally just advancing into Soul Society and having this big fight and for them all to duke it out, or for him to advance into the Spirit King's palace. Obviously, there could have been that other pathway where they've duked it out in Soul Society, and once everyone's pretty much dead, save for a few, then he somehow manages to find a way into Soul Society, Soul King's palace, and for further fights to go on there. That would have been pretty epic as well. But I think it's interesting that he went along this route. So again, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't realized. Very much like this sort of thing. Apparently, it's interesting. What has happened in my perspective is Yuha Bak has somehow beamed some sort of hologram to Ichigo, where you can see his visual form, but he calls it his voice. Obviously, you can see hear his auditory form too, but you see him pointing skyward and pretty much telling Ichigo, "Yo, by coming here from Soul Palace, you have pretty much opened an opening for the next 6,000 seconds, which is literally 10 minutes. That's a long time to forcefully penetrate the 72 layers of barriers because of the clothing you have on, the King's K, which are sewn from the royal guard's bones and hairs, and nothing short of that will allow you to penetrate the 72 layers of barriers between the royal palace and Serete and protect you from the friction. And so, first off, I feel like, a lot, this is one of those loopholes in manga where like the evil villain will spend the time to literally explain all this out to the good guy, which I feel is like stupid. It's like it's one of those things that is played out in Austin Powers as a sort of I would call it a what's it called, a parody, or they literally just show you like for instance, in Austin Powers, if you've seen the movies, Dr. Evil literally stands there and he is literally like telling this Austin Powers, now that I've caught you, I will tuck you away in an unsupervised area so that you can potentially escape. But I trust that this faulty laser that I have beamed on you will kill you, even though my handcuffs aren't even that high in security and you could easily break out of them and so forth. It's pretty much like it's satire. They're satirizing this whole thing, this whole idea, and this again is a loophole in it. Like, why, in all honesty, from a practical, logical perspective, why would Yuka Bak do any of this? It's almost like arrogance, almost like it doesn't make sense. It's almost like it's literally only to explain to the reader what's going on, because in a practical sense, Yuka Bak would not waste the time to tell Ichigo this. He would beam himself up in an instant because he literally does not know how strong Ichigo has progressed in strength, and he doesn't want to open any loose ends where he could potentially ruin his plan. So I feel like this is illogical for him to do so. And boom, Ichigo, we don't know how strong Ichigo is after this power up. So he could literally be so strong that he can like wipe everyone out in an instant because he's so fast. However, he's playing around. Well, he's not playing around, but from what I can see, he gets stopped or at least delayed by these 8 people who are trying to prevent him from reaching Yuka Bak. And so, again, in my opinion, highly impractical, illogical. If Ichigo really wanted to go all out, he would literally go Bankai immediately. And you can see that because he has not gone Bankai immediately, he has been delayed by these characters for a decent amount of time. I would say at least 2 to 3 minutes minimal from the way the panels go out. And so I really feel like logically it doesn't make sense. Obviously Yuka Bak is a huge threat, so for him not to go try his hardest to stop him, and he does not try his hardest because he doesn't use his Bankai. He's literally just in his normal state trying to evade these people, and has obviously been delayed at least 3 or 4 minutes. Doesn't make sense in my opinion. And so finally, he gets rescued by Renji because his the burner finger from one of the Quincy almost like injure him, which I think again illogical, pointless. You're trying to race against Yuka Bak, who is literally one of the strongest characters in the series as of so far. He's probably not going to take too much time to get up to Seoul Palace. It's not going to take him 10 minutes to get up there. And so I think it's illogical. For this whole thing is illogical. Like Ichigo, like you are literally fighting against all odds. This is like the ultimate battle. I think Tadekubo even mentioned that this will be the final arc, although the longest arc. So this is going to be the biggest battle. Doesn't make sense for Ichigo to be playing around here. He's not really playing around, but at the end of the day he is, because he's not like he's obviously been delayed by these guys. So he doesn't have so much power as to just evade them all instantly and then get to Yuka Bak, which would be the ultimate scenario. And therefore I feel like he should have Bankai'd immediately. Obviously, there could be reasons why he didn't Bankai, but in my opinion, just minor reasons like, oh, I don't want to reveal my trump card yet. Well, does letting Yuka back into Soul Society, like, is that your ultimate goal? Because he could, in effect, end it here by not letting Yuka back into Soul Society. And he should have gone Bankai. But obviously, it's one of those big loopholes, and they freaking want some all-out fight, and they don't want Ichigo to reveal his Bankai as of yet. So that's all I really want to say. And the final scene is these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members coming to prevent these Quincy from interfering with Ichigo and Yuka Bak. In my opinion, like, I would say only 3 of them are truly that strong. I feel like only Renji, I mean, all of them have advanced in skill, but I feel like Renji's advanced the most in my opinion, based on his training in Spirit King's Palace. But that's all I really want to say about this chapter. There's really not much else to say. Obviously, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the future, and I'm very curious to see what the heck the Spirit King is. As of so far, he's some entity, some human form, but something greater than that, who's probably stronger than all the Zero guards combined, who probably has to, lock himself in this chamber to literally, like, keep the balance between all the worlds going. But he seems to be really strong, and I feel like he's probably so strong that, like, literally only maybe Ichigo and Yuka Bak and Aizen are on his level. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and again, it's quite a shame that Kenpachi is already down for the count, but if things go properly, what will happen, similar to what Saiyans in DBZ react, is Kenpachi will grow in strength after his defeat, because one could call it a defeat because he was literally exhausted to the point of the inability to move after, or not right after Ichigo arrived. So again, it's kind of a shame. Kenpachi's my favorite character. I'm a little let down that he's already at his strength limit, but from what I've read, I feel like he will grow in strength. He will get stronger from here. He'll get stronger after every defeat, and eventually grow almost like when the Saiyans in DBZ, where like each time they lose, they double in strength or something like that. And again, I gotta be honest, I am a little bit let down and confused because, you would think that after this whole, ordeal with Kenpachi, where he literally, like, where I forgot her name, but the old Kenpachi literally had to let herself die so that Zaraki Kenpachi could take over. Like, you guys know what happened, right? Like, literally, she had to keep fighting him, and each time she killed, or not killed, but injured, mortally wounded Zaraki, she would revive him, and each time he was revived, he didn't know what was going on. He just realized that he blacked out, and then he was fighting again. And so, he kept going on, and he kept getting stronger and stronger. And what was happening was she was removing these subconscious limits that Zaraki placed on himself, because ever since they met as a child, he defeated her, but since then he placed these limits on himself physically and mentally, because he had decided for himself, or realized that he would never meet someone stronger than him. And so, once he met Ichigo and so forth, he lost and stuff. But literally, he was the same level of strength since he was as a kid. And he's never been stronger since, even once he fought Ichigo and so forth, because of those subconscious, subliminal limits he placed on himself. So this is the first time since that when he literally has grown, and he will continue to grow. And he's a monster who has infinite potential, because he has yet to learn Bankai yet, and you see some level of evolution with his Zenpakucho. When before he would communicate with it, it wouldn't talk back or transform. Now it's transformed into this enormous beast. It has so much potential. I can't wait to see where Zaraki will grow from here. Literally, I really feel like he is like a beast, and I feel like Zaraki Kenpachi, like, he kind of knows what has happened, because he knows that he killed the previous Kenpachi, and he felt no remorse about it. He was like, he literally admitted, I didn't like that person anyways. So, you know, deep down, I feel like by his expression and body language, he was somewhat, you know, he knew it had to be done to get to that next level. So, but at the end of the day, because of his warrior stance and his personality, he couldn't let that affect him. So he's like, I didn't like that person anyways. So that's all I really want to say. As always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. It would really help if you did. Please share this video with your friends and convince them to subscribe. If you want more consistent videos and more videos out on a weekly basis, the best thing you could do is get more viewers on my videos and more subscribers. Those two are the biggest motivational things for me, especially more views on my videos. If I see that, I will put out more stuff on a weekly basis consistently for all the manga out there. That's all I really want to say. As always, like, favorite, comment, share this video with someone you think would like it, who would be influenced by it and would like this sort of thing. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.